Hey, I hope this New Year's treat you guys right. So, when I think about sugar addiction, I often think of one young lady who wanted to lose about 100 pounds. She had endured chronic pain in her muscles, in her joints, along with these just super intense headaches, really on a daily basis. And this has been going on for years and years. She knew that food, or I would say she recognized that food, and in particular sugar, flour-based breads, chips, crackers, these pumps of sugar she was putting in her coffee in the morning. She knew these were her body's kryptonite. She knew. I shouldn't understand necessarily, but she knew. She recognized that, man, I feel terrible when I eat these kind of things. But as is the standard, we tend to go towards and be drawn to the momentary enjoyment of food, like substances, and that essentially outweighs, in our mind or in her mind, the initial discomfort or discipline of enduring through the temptation, sticking to eating fruit, sticking to eating meat, vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, whole food substance. And yes, this is a completely natural response. This is how the body works. Literally, it's going to do what is easiest for it to do at the moment, unless we have trained ourselves to prefer a challenge, to prefer a little bit of discomfort over the, fluffiness of life. Because our automatic is going to be comfort. Take it to the bank. Our automatic will be comfort. Avoiding pain, we're going to choose pleasure, time after time after time. I mean, consider this: the number of people who say pop an Advil, a Tylenol, an aspirin, an naproxen after a day of gardening, not because they just broke their back, or they broke their ankle, or they broke their shoulder or their femur or anything like this. They were out gardening, and their shoulders are kind of achy, their back's stiff, knees a little achy, and so they pop one of these pain medications. It's completely foreign to me, and maybe a lot of you, because we don't even keep these drugs. These are drugs in our home. They're not candy, they're drugs. And yet people pop them. Standard American way, Western world way of doing things is to pop those babies at the first sign of an ache, of any kind of level of discomfort. If we're at 2 out of 10 of pain, you gotta pop one to get that down to 1 out of 10 right there, because we're trained and we believe that we should not experience pain. That if there's any pain, if there's any potential pain, that we gotta get by it at any cost. And unfortunately, this is really paralyzing a lot of us and keeping a lot of us from basically reaching goals and enjoying life to the fullest, because we're so stuck in that momentary discomfort that we're going to experience. So, clearing sugar from our cupboards, from our life, say no thanks to, say, desserts. Not that we can ever eat dessert, but skipping the syrup pumps in our coffee, choosing, say, plain yogurt over flavored yogurt, 7 grams of sugar, total sugars, versus 27 grams of total sugars per serving. Say, eating frozen blueberries or mangoes instead of a bowl of ice cream in the evening time. These things, they often, if you're stuck in the standard American way of doing things, they seem completely foreign. Why in the world would you do that when that bowl of chocolate Dreyer's ice cream tastes so good? And sometimes we can think, this is only super righteous eaters who would do these things. And I would say, there are righteous eaters or people who have certain thinking about healthy food that I would say are not serving them to their benefit. They basically develop such a strong emotional attachment to eating specific words on food, or not eating specific words, ingredients, and it actually emotionally is just destroying them, even though they are eating healthy. So we don't want to get stuck in the righteous eating routine where the food these people are eating is actually hindering their health progress, even though it is a healthy food, because they cannot have any diversion from that healthy food, or they think that they're going to die, that everything's just going to be terrible, and they've completely lost all the health they've built for the last 10 years. So remember, food is highly valuable as a source of healing, but if we permit our emotions to get too involved, whether this is good food or bad food, or beneficial food or unbeneficial food, if we let our emotions get too involved in why we're making the decisions we're making related to food, then we can be pumping ourselves full of whole foods, but literally not experiencing the benefits, because literally we're still stressed out, we're stress eating, we're eating out of fear rather than out of a sense of faith and trusting, wow, this food is wholesome, I enjoy it, fantastic. So perfection eating is not attainable, but there's no reason we can't look at eating real foods on a regular basis and expect the benefits that come from doing that. Okay, so back to this young lady, 100 pounds overweight, in pain all the time. Throughout her whole body, she's experiencing pain, and she prefers to lose weight over getting over the pain. But the deal is, you get on the right track on the food front, on the thinking front, and weight and pain both tend to just go away. So after she finally decided, after talking to her, I would say it was a couple of years of back and forth, she decided, you know what, she would go for it. She was ready to batten down the hatches, tighten it up, become accountable, journal things, and overcome this addiction. In which accountability is crucial. You're not going to overcome addiction without accountability, without some kind of support network there, personally, professionally, familially. And then she went about cleansing her home and her office space of all the sugar and flour and all the paraphernalia that goes along with those things. Because if we don't do this, if we don't disrupt the normal life cues that lead us to grab the sugar items, to grab another piece of bread, to put our hand in the box of crackers and grab another crackers as we're walking through the kitchen, if we don't get those items out of the way, we don't change those cues, then guess what? We're going to end up in the exact same situation where we were before, because the body likes doing what the body likes doing, and it's going to do what it's been doing unless we specifically force it. We create this opportunity for it to do something different. So within weeks, literally, her body pain, her headaches were gone. Like 3 weeks, gone. Amazing. Feeling amazing. No ibuprofen, no Tylenol, nothing. No Tylenol PM. She started waking up feeling like she could meet the day instead of feeling like she just got literally smeared during the night by a semi-truck and she happened to make it through. That is how she was waking up day after day after day for literally years. And now, 3 weeks into just eating awesome food, she's not experiencing that anymore. Isn't that crazy? The one other thing that was present for this young lady during, I would say, basically a 3-month phase of her feeling amazing and following through on her food plan, sticking to her little bit of walking she was doing, and seeing her body fat decrease. There was this one major thing, maybe you can guess it, that was also missing during this time frame. Did you guess it? So the thing was, there was no major life changes during this about 3 and a half month period. There's no life changes, no work issues, no marital unrest. Her children were doing great. There was literally no external challenges that were coming against her. However, after or right around about 16 weeks, she ran into some significant issues with her coworkers and her boss at work that literally completely derailed her. A challenge showed up in her life, and unfortunately, instead of maintaining accountability, keeping her home and her office space free of the paraphernalia that is floury things, sugary things, those opportunities that lead us to succumb to our in the moment needs based out related to an addictive behavior. Instead of enduring this process, those external stressors, they literally just stopped her. Didn't show up for appointments, didn't answer emails, didn't answer phone calls. And of course, I think we all know what happened, right? It's not like by not answering these questions, by not showing up, things aren't getting better, right? We know what happened was she was derailed. She went straight back to her sugary habits, to the flowery stuff, the substances that literally gave her that instant gratification, that produced in her that the pain that she just gotten rid of, the headaches that she'd been free of for like almost 3 months. She went straight back to that because the body, that dopamine response, the reward response, was so great for these addictive foods. So even the 28 pounds she had lost, she had literally relieved herself of 28 pounds of inflammation. And in just like that, by going back to old behaviors, going back to addictions, because of these external stressors that hit her, it all came back. Isn't that so sad? The thing is, this is addiction. That is why I'm saying this is addiction. Sugar is an addicting substance. It's not just like, oh, a little bit here, a little bit there, I'll just, pay later. No, sugar is an addiction. When talking, especially non-fruit-based sugars, added sugars that are added to our life. That's why I promote decreasing added sugars and minimizing added sugars. We do challenges to kick those added sugars out of our life because it is an addictive substance. It is created for addiction. All these processed food ingredients are created for addiction. And so it creates we need great vigilance. And I've since worked with this young woman again. She finally came back around, praise the Lord. And now her understanding of sugar addiction and this necessity of not allowing external stressors, external factors to determine how she lives her life and whether or not she experiences total health success, whether or not she accumulates health day after day after day. She's on it. She's ready to do this now. She's gaining understanding in that area. And guess what? Her pain is going back away. Headaches are going away. She's not 100% yet, but she literally is getting years back from her life. And unfortunately, she lost so many years of awesome, pain-free living with what she was doing before. So the thing is, life's gonna show up no matter what. Life is gonna show up for us, and sometimes it's gonna show up with pure joy, and sometimes it's gonna show up with intense, aggressive challenge. All these things that seem to be out of our control. But food, how many know food is something we can control? So this is why planning ahead, being vigilant when we're winning, and finding every little edge we can do. This is especially, when you're winning, when you're ahead, when you're pain-free, your head doesn't hurt anymore, you're waking up feeling awesome or 50% better, then it is so vital to keep taking more ground. Don't wait until you get a sucker punch. You want to decide right now, this is what I'm going to do. When these external, if my work goes bad, marriage, family, I get in a car accident, whatever, I get sick, I have to go take care of my mom. We want to decide right now, hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to set up my life so that even when that happens, because it's going to happen, something crazy is going to happen. We're going to get derailed. It could even be just go on vacation, right? We want to write down what we're going to do. And then we want to imagine. We want to use our imagination as a tool to cement in what our future action is going to be. We write it down and we imagine it, and we put great energy and veracity in making sure that this is indeed how we show up when those external factors are overwhelming us. The thing is, because feelings, emotions, cravings, those are temporary. They will indeed pass. You hear me? Feelings, emotions, cravings, they're temporary. So if you can endure, then you can expect your health accumulation just to go through the roof. I mean, your health is going to accumulate rapidly if we can endure. And I know you can. If you watch this whole video, there's no doubt about it, you can endure. All right, I'm Dr. Matt. Please like, subscribe, send this to your friends, family. Let's overcome sugar addiction in 2022. This is your month right now. Today's your day. All we have is the moment to overcome. Endure one more time. And each time you endure, guess what? It's going to be easier. Coming from a former sugaraholic myself, it's going to become easier to endure the next time.